Hello guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Khalid. I'm a freelance artist and animator based in the Netherlands, and today I'll be showing you my journaling setup for February. So the idea of the setup is a spread in my journal where I write down a highlight or a memorable moment each day of February, create an overview of my monthly goals, track habits and targets, and keep a section empty for reflection at the end of the month. There are so many things I want to do with my life, and I often feel like time is slipping away. A big part of the reason why I journal is to be more mindful of how I spend my time. This helps me a lot with staying focused on what really matters to me. The highlighted day is kind of like a practice of gratitude. Even on bad days where it feels like everything has gone wrong, I think it's valuable to stop and think of what actually went well. The highlight doesn't need to be grand. Even something small like having a nice cup of tea or a peaceful walk in the park matters. I have a few goals for this month. Working on and finishing my upcoming stationery products, washi tapes, notepads, stickers and sticker sheets. I'm also working on new shirts that I want to finish by March. And aside from this, I want to post at least 2 YouTube videos and post on Instagram and Patreon twice a week. I've been making products like shirts, prints and stickers for my brand for a few years now. And it's been a goal of mine to diversify and expand the range of products I make. Since I'm using stationery a lot lately, I figured it would be fun to focus on that for my next few products. Stationery is also on the cheaper side to manufacture in comparison to shirts and other things I want to make. I'm currently working on stamp designs, which I'll be finishing in the next few days, and I'm really excited to see all my ideas come to life. Making YouTube videos has been an interest and goal of mine for a few years now, and this year I really want to make this a reality. I think the reason why it's been taking me so long to make videos consistently is because I see so much potential in what I could make, that I end up feeling paralyzed and not ready to make that leap. But as time passes, I realize that if I really want this, I simply need to put something out whether it's great or not, and I can always improve along the way, and more importantly, just trying and practicing is the way to improve. Instagram and Patreon are 2 other platforms I want to stay consistent with. I've been posting on Instagram for over a decade, and it continues to be a place where my work can reach a lot of people. I also like seeing the amazing artists on there, and it inspires and motivates me a lot to keep creating. I want to grow my Patreon so I can have more freedom in my work. With Patreon, I can decide when and where I'm working and creating, as well as having the freedom to create what I like. And with time, I also hope to have more financial freedom. Right now, my income relies mostly on my part-time job and selling at conventions and in my web shop. Although I do enjoy working on these things, having more location and time freedom would open up a lot of possibilities. Patreon is also a place where I can show more of the process of making things and interact with my patrons. I'll be tracking a couple of habits: drawing, push-ups, and reading. I'm also tracking my social media targets for Instagram and Patreon, as well as my workouts, which I want to do 3 times a week. Because these aren't daily habits, I'm tracking them separately from the habit tracker. I watched a video by this YouTuber called Dominic Hart about habit tracking, where he used graphs in his journal to track habits. I'm taking inspiration from this by tracking my push-ups and mood in the form of a graph. With the graph, I can look back and reflect on my mood and see at a glance how many push-ups I did each day. The habit tracker is a very simple layout with a grid for each day. When I've completed the habit for the day, I'll color it so I can see it's done. I was tempted to add in more habits to track, but I decided to stick to 3, so I can focus on actually succeeding at this instead of setting myself up for failure. In the past, I've tried tracking up to 10 habits at the same time, and this resulted in me just feeling bad about myself to the point where I stopped tracking entirely. Continuously trying to accomplish too many things is an easy way to feel burnt out. This has been a challenge for me for a long time, as I have a tendency to set really ambitious goals. But over the years, I've learned to balance this better. And I would say balance, finding that sweet spot, is key in making sure you don't overwork or paralyze yourself, while still dreaming big and working towards your goals. This will look different for everyone, which is why I highly encourage you to try out keeping a journal if you aren't already. With a journal, you can write down your goals and see more clearly what it is that you're trying to achieve, and reflect on whether your approach to it is good or needs adjusting. Now I'm decorating the spread to make it more playful and fun to look at. Since goals and habit tracking can feel pretty serious and heavy to me at times, this helps me look at it with more positivity and joy. I'm also a very visually oriented person, so if the spread looks appealing to me, I'll be more likely to look at it and engage with it. So that's pretty much the setup. I'd love to know what you think of it, and I'm curious to know how you guys stay on track with your goals and if you have any habits you're trying to build or maintain. Let me know if you'd like to see an update on this, because I'd be super down to make a follow-up video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.